Go ahead and read.
And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle.
Now again, this is Jesus that we're reading about. You know, he's coming on the white horse like we read about in the 19th chapter, and he had a sharp sickle in his hand. Go ahead and read.
And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud,
Go ahead.
Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe.
Go ahead.
And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying,
Go ahead.
Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe.
Go ahead.
And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God.
Now here we get it again. You know, the wrath of God. You know, this is Jesus at his coming again. And he said, cast in your sharp sickle and cast it unto the grape of the winepress of the wrath of God. Go ahead and read on.
And the winepress was trodden without the city.
Without what city? Without Jerusalem. That city. Because that's where all this stuff going to be taking place at, in that valley just outside of Jerusalem. Go ahead and read on.
And blood came out of the winepress,
Now he said, blood came out of the winepress. Go ahead and read.
even unto the horse bridles,
Even unto the horse's brow. Go ahead and read on.
by the space of 1,600 furlongs.
That's almost 200 miles. That is what they give. So we're talking about a lake of blood of about 200 miles. You understand what I'm saying? That's a lot of blood all the way up to the horse's brow. But this is the wrath of the Lamb here. Let's go now to Revelation chapter 16, and we're going to pick it up at verse 12. Revelation 16, and we'll begin reading at verse 12. 16 and 12. 16 and 12. Okay, go ahead and read.
And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates.
Now, you know there were 7 angels giving 7 trumpets. And also there were 7 angels giving 7 vials of wrath. And when that 6th angel sounded this trumpet, then this vial of wrath was poured out. So now the 6th angel poured out his vial of wrath up on the great river Euphrates. That is a river that is over there in the Middle East. Go ahead and read on.
And the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared.
Because that beast that we read about earlier, he done left Rome and he done set up down in Jerusalem. Now what the kings of the east going to do, they going to come down, cross that river Euphrates, coming down into Jerusalem. Go ahead and read on.
And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
And these are the ones that's really initiating this battle between men and the Lord. Go ahead and read on.
For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles,
Now they are the spirit of devils working miracles. Go ahead and read.
which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty.
So what do we have here? We got a world war here, don't we?
Yes, sir.
He said the kings of the earth and of the whole world gathered together to do battle. And notice at that time the Lord is going to come, because if he didn't, there would be no flesh left alive. That is what Jesus said in the 24th chapter of Matthew. Go ahead and continue to read.
Verse 15.
Go ahead.
Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
Now, this is a valley that is near Jerusalem, and that's where they gathered at to do this battle, and that is where that blood was up to the horse's back. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 34, and we'll begin reading at verse 1. Isaiah 34, and we'll pick it up at verse 1. 34 and 1. 34 and 1. 34 and 1. Because all nations going to be involved. When he said all nations, that is exactly what he meant. All nations going to be involved in this battle. Let's start reading here at Isaiah 34 and verse 1, because the Lord is about to pour out his indignation upon the nations. Let's start reading at 34 and 1. Isaiah 34 and 1. Go ahead and read.
Come near, ye nations, to hear,
Go ahead.
and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein.
Now the Lord said, come ye nations and hear. Let the earth hear, and everybody that is therein. Because the Lord wants everybody to hear this.
Sir.
Go ahead and read on.
The world and all things that come forth of it.
Now he said, let all the nations come up, and I want them to hear, and I want the world to hear. I want everybody to hear this. Go ahead and read on.
For the indignation of the Lord is upon all
So it
nations,
said the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. Go ahead and read on.
and his fury upon all their armies.
So that's who the Lord going to deal with. He's going to deal with their army. That don't mean he's going to deal with every individual in the nation. He's going to deal with the armies, those that have gathered there at Jerusalem to do
Yes,
battle.
sir.
He said, so now his fury is upon their armies. Go ahead and read on.
He hath utterly destroyed
And that
them.
is what he's going to do. He's going to utterly destroy them. Go ahead and read on.
He hath delivered them to the slaughter.
Go ahead.
Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their
Go
carcasses,
ahead.
and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Go ahead.
And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
And here we got them heavens again rolling back like a scroll, like we read over in Revelation, and as we read in the 2nd chapter of Isaiah. Go ahead and continue reading.
And all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine,
Go ahead.
and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
Uh-huh.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
And you know who Idumea is? That is Edom. Those are the ones that is sitting in the land today that have taken your land and your identity. So now the Lord got a little controversy with them as well, and he's going to deal with them at the same time. You know, the Lord going to deal with the nation, but he got a special little controversy with Edom here, or Idumea. Go ahead and read on.
And upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Go ahead.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood.
Uh-huh.
It is made fat with fatness,
Go ahead.
and with the blood of lambs and goats, and with the fat of the kidneys of rams.
Go ahead.
For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra,
Now, where's Basra? You know, they're dealing with Edom. Basra, Idumea. Go ahead and continue
and a
reading.
great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Go ahead.
And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance,
But it is the day of the Lord's vengeance. Go ahead and read on.
and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion.
And the recompenses for the controversy of Zion. Because there's a controversy
Yes,
going
sir.
on. Isn't
There's a
it?
controversy.
You know, you got Edom, he laid claim to that land, right? Then you got Ishmael, what you call Ab, they laid claim to it too. And then you got us, we have laid claim to it as well, right? So that is a controversy, isn't it?
Yes,
we got
sir.
a three-way controversy going on as to who that land belonged to. And the Lord said, at that day, I'm going to settle this controversy.
Yes, sir.
At what day? At the time of his coming, the Lord going to settle that controversy. Now, let's go over to Isaiah chapter 63, and we'll begin reading at verse 1. Isaiah 63, and we'll pick it up at verse 1. 63 and 1. 63 and 1. Okay. 63 and 1. Now here, we reading about the same one we just read about over in the 34th chapter. Idumea, Bozrah, same one, Edom. All this is Edom. Go ahead and read on.
Who is this that cometh from Edom
Go ahead.
with dyed garments
Now,
from
so who is this
Basra?
that coming up from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? What is his garments doing that? They got blood on them.
Yes, sir.
Because we just told you over in the 34th chapter that he went down there to sell that controversy,
Yes,
right?
sir. That's right,
So
brother.
now that is why he got dyed garments on. Go ahead and read on.
This that is glorious in his apparel,
Go ahead.
traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Go ahead.
I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Go ahead.
Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel,
Now he said, why are you red in your apparel? Go ahead and read on.
and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine
And you
fat?
got on garments as though you have been treading the wine press. Yeah, I've been treading the
Yes,
wine
sir.
press. You know, you've been treading the wine press with the nation, but like I say, he had a little special issue that he had to settle with Edom here. Now he said, you know, you got blood on your garments. Go ahead and read on.
I have trodden the wine press alone,
Uh-huh.
and of the people there was none with me.
Go ahead.
For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury.
Go ahead.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
So that is why his garments are dyed, because he got blood all over his garment. Because he done went down there and he done did battle. He done did battle with the nations,
Yes,
and
sir.
he's taking a special issue with Edom. Go ahead, continue
For
reading.
the day of vengeance is in mine heart.
See what the Lord, this is Jesus that you were reading about here. He said, a day of vengeance is in mine heart. Go ahead and read on.
And the year of my redeemed is come.
Go ahead.
And I looked, and there was none to help.
Go ahead.
And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me.
Go ahead.
And I will tread down the people in mine anger.
See what the Lord said, I'm going to tread down the people in mine anger. Go ahead and read on.
And make them drunk in my fury. And I will bring down their strength to the earth.